Alright guys, we're in the third quarter. Just over 10 minutes left in the third quarter. It's 47-44 to Collingwood against the Swans. This is my first ever live stream of a game. Obviously I'm not going to show the live game due to copyright issues with the AFL, but really enjoying what I'm seeing so far. It's took me a while to get the live stream set up. I'm only home about 20 minutes. I watched the first quarter, absolutely outstanding first quarter for the Swans. Collingwood looked good in the start of the second, and then I had to go back to work. So I'm watching the third right now with you. If you're watching it there in Oz, I'm not too sure. But as I say, this is my first ever live experience of an AFL game, and I'm loving it so far. Very tight, highly contested match so far. I think Collingwood's missing quite a few players from what I'm led to believe. From people in the comment section of other videos have said Collingwood was missing quite a few players, and I think the Swans were probably favourites going into this, but only just. Obviously, they've got the big man Lance Buddy Franklin. Alright folks, we've got the big man Lance Buddy Franklin back the Swans. He's been out for a wee while apparently due to injury. There we go. In front again, even further in the front there, just kicked a goal. Seems to be the way of it so far. Like Collingwood's taking the lead and the Swans are closing the gap a wee bit again. Not much, honestly, not much between them from what I've seen so far. This is the Indigenous round as well, so what you're getting is these fancy kits that they're wearing, obviously with the kind of Indigenous tribal print on it. Pretty bread and butter that finish for these boys. Straightforward enough. There was a bit of a crowd to go through as well there, and quite a few bodies to get through, but as I say, the actual kick itself was probably straightforward for him. He just scooped that high into no man's land, really, isn't he? Don't know how many people are actually watching the game live right now in Australia. If you are, let me know. Hello there. If you're watching it live right now, give me a thumbs up. Say yes. Obviously, I can't show you the game down because of copyright problems here. Issues. I would get a strike against my account for showing you the game, so I can talk about actually what's happening right here and then. There might be a bit of a delay to what you're seeing as well, to what I'm seeing. There's maybe a minute or so difference. Obviously, I'm coming through the internet as well, watching this game. I've got it on the big TV anyway. Huge TV there. 50-inch. Watching the game. Which county do I live in? I live in County Armagh in Northern Ireland. Nice mark there. I think he said his name was Reid. Quite a tall guy. Just watching this at the same time. Sorry guys. I know there's live chat here as well. We're talking. I will get back to them if I can see them on the screen, but I just want to see this here. Obviously, this is the whole idea of the game. Watching the live game as well and reacting to each thing. Lovely kick there. So they say his name's Reid, big tall bald fella for the Swans, just kicked from a real tight angle out in the right, maybe about 30 metres from the sticks, straight through, beautiful finish. But what you've come to expect from professional AFL guys is that they do this no problem at all. If I did it, do you know what? You never know though, I've never actually tried it before, but with it being a really, like the oval shaped ball, you're trying to kick it accurately is very difficult as well, and it could go anywhere, especially if you don't get the right connection. And as my Aussie friends say, kick the right mongrel. Go for goal. That's what I was saying at the start. I don't know if you've just joined, my man Dave. Thanks very much. I know your comments. I appreciate all you guys are being real consistent in the comments section, helping me learn the sport and giving me different bits of advice and players and stuff to do. So I know all of you. I'm really enjoying my first game so far, and it is very highly contested. Really, 3 points in it here. I don't know if you're ahead a little bit in the game. I'm watching this through the internet, so I'm actually not too sure what the score is in Australia. You could be a minute or two ahead of me. Who do I want to win? I must admit, I think I want the Swans to win here. Maybe I don't know if they would be the underdog as such, but obviously Collingwood are probably the team that I think everybody loves to hate so far. That's what I've learned from the videos I've done so far. Everybody seems to have a dislike for Collingwood. I'm not too sure why, but I actually want the Swans to win because I know Big Lance up the top there. He's back from injury. There he is there now. Should score. Yes, here he goes. Big Buddy Franklin's just scored there. What a player. Of course, he's getting to the end of his career. He's just back from injury as well. So to see him back for Swans fans must be great to see. And they've took the lead, 56-53 here. How am I? I'm very, very good. Yeah, probably about 60 seconds delay. So you've just seen that as well. So that's good. I'm nearly bang on live to you guys as well. So really exciting. Live stream. I want to be able to show you the little bits of play, but I'll get a copyright strike, as you can appreciate, guys. If I show you the game, they'll copyright strike this on me. So I've got to talk. I can talk about the stuff that's happening and good play. A bit of a fumble there in and around the goal mouth, and he's picked it up. No problem at all for the big man. I think, yep, to answer the question is, the Swans have only won a few games so far this season, but they always have a slow start. Well, that's good to know. They actually started, I watched the first quarter in my work on my break, and the Swans looked good in the first quarter, and I watched some of the second, and Collingwood take the lead a little bit, started to show a little bit more. I don't know who the guy was. He kicked three for the Collingwood there in the first couple of quarters, and he's only back from injury. I think he's 34 years old. So quite an old player in terms of AFL, really, from what I'm led to believe. That's quite old, really, isn't it? 34. With the amount of pitch they have to, amount of grass they have to cover on the oval there. So nice. Trying to do both. It's quite difficult. It's actually harder than I thought, doing a live stream when you're watching a game. Bear with me. Stay tuned if you're enjoying it. If not, I understand why. Don't know what's happening here, but Buddy's away over at the bench here. He's talking away to them. I don't know if he's been substituted or if he's just getting a little bit of instructions from the coaches at the side of the side of the oval. Keep saying pitch. Apologies. What am I doing? Well, do you know what happened? I left work half an hour early because I couldn't wait to come home and watch this. So I left work, I just get out of here, I don't care. Take a hit on the wages, I want to get out and watch this. I was excited about it. Tomorrow morning here, the next game's about 10 to 5 in the morning tomorrow. Obviously this is the Indigenous round, isn't it? Round 10. So I can't remember who the first game is tomorrow. I'm going to say Port Adelaide's the next game, isn't it? So I'll hopefully watch them. I don't know if I'll do a live feed because the children will be sleeping in bed, but I will definitely watch the first and maybe the part of the second game tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon it'll be for you. It'll be really early tomorrow morning for us here. But I'm loving it. Hawks versus Port Adelaide. Exactly. Who needs work on a Friday? Friday should be half day anyway, particularly when the AFL's on. Get a grip. Fucking AFL's on. Have some respect. All managers should fucking give you a half day on a Friday when the Friday games are on. Is this just a new thing in the AFL that they do a Friday? Because I think they said that in the commentary. Hello to my friends from Indonesia that's joining. I don't know if you watch AFL in Indonesia, but you should, because it's absolutely brilliant. And you're not far from Australia either, so it wouldn't be far to get onto Australia and watch one of this. Good evening from South Asia. I want to give a shout out to Boomer here, who's got his own channel, Boomer Oz 00 or OO, sorry, but I don't know if it's saying 00 or OO. He's the guy that's bought me the AFL ball and he's going to ship it to me, and I'm really looking forward to it. So a big thank you to him. Check out his channel, guys. He does gaming videos, and every channel needs help and needs subscribers, so check him out. Huge AFL supporter like everybody else. Actually, this game is televised in the UK right now on BT Sports, so I thought I was going to be watching it on my app. Thanks, buddy. Every round they have a Friday night. Is this just a new thing in the AFL that they show the Friday night match? Is it, or has it been going on for years? Is there any Collingwood supporters here right now? Because I've obviously said not a lot of people want Collingwood to win this, or like to see Collingwood win at all, for that matter. Is there any Collingwood fans there right now? Any Swans fans? He's holding the ball there, wasn't he? I know that rule because it's pretty obvious he wasn't trying to do anything there. There's a comment came up and went away with reference to the question about Collingwood. Stolen mobile phones, that's probably like Aberdeen supporters in Scotland. No, I actually wake up early anyway, usually on a Saturday morning. I'm actually off tomorrow, but usually on a Saturday morning I get up at 2:30 in the morning to go to my work. I do about an 8-hour shift, but I'm not working tomorrow, so I'll be up early anyway, just out of habit. I'm always up at about 4 o'clock in the morning, so that is absolutely no problem whatsoever to get up for the game. There we go again, the Swans are taking a bit of lead now again, the big fella again. He looks good. I'm not too sure much about him. That's a couple of goals I've seen him scoring in this match. Your boy with the shaved head, tall guy. I said his name earlier, but I forgot. Hello, my friend. Hawks versus Port Adelaide. Yep, that's tomorrow. So I'll watch that one in the morning, and I know there's one not so long after that. I'll maybe try and watch some of that as well. But I can't do a live stream, so I'll just watch it and I'll maybe give a bit of a review after it if you like. Because I've got the bug. I've got the AFL bug, I think. So spread it around your AFL friends. This is going to be this is turning into an actual AFL channel. Not intentionally, pure AFL, because I cover sports from all over the world. But it's just got me hooked, so I find myself doing a lot more of it. How I speak Apakabar boss Q. Malu Appa boss Q. AFL actually is fucking epic. Actually is epic. Where has it been all my life? To be fair, I'll always be a football supporter because I've been brought up with it, and when you have that love for something, you'll never change. I am a football supporter first and foremost, but this is definitely my newfound love, I think, in sport, because fucking look at it. Everything gets scrapped. They scrap for everything. Fighting spirit. I think if there was ever anything good that the Scots might have instilled into countries around the world, it was definitely that fighting spirit. I think that's what the Aussies have kind of... the Aussies have got that little bit of Irish and Scottish in them as well, isn't it? Like that fucking live wires, man. No bloody doubt this sport's played in this country. Amazing. I was actually talking, I'm non-stop talking about the AFL in my work, right? Just every single day for the last week, I've just taught everyone I see in my work, I'm AFL. They haven't got a fucking clue what I'm talking about. But I actually worked with one guy, he actually lived in Australia, in Sydney, for a while, and for a few years. And, oh, here we go, like this. Smash his face in, man. I don't have any preference. I just like a good Barney there, man. You know when somebody does something so annoying like that, like I know he's fell down a wee bit there, but he's lying on the ball. I just want to rip him up. Not that I'd have the physical strength, but you would have that fucking bit of rage about you. I've got to admit, I really don't want Collingwood to win this. I don't know why. I've took a bit of a disliking to them. Do you know what I think it is? I wouldn't say dislike. I kind of want to see them not win more so than dislike. It's probably because the Americans have latched onto them with Mason Cox. And I can't have that. I can't be associated with something the Americans have latched onto. My man, try an Aussie accent. Well, I don't know what Aussie accent I do, but it's probably like Mark Chopper Reed or something. My Aussie accent. Because I watched that film, he used to copy his sayings in that documentary he was in about... He was talking about the stuff he'd done in real life. The guy was an absolute head case. He didn't give a fuck. Oh, it made me laugh though. I mean, obviously there's victims from this guy. I mean, pure gangster. No, the nicest of people. But you can't help but like watching them, can you? These nutcases, like... Watching on the telly. I'm watching it on the telly. Do you know what? I think if I do it for 1 second... So I do it for 1 second because I don't want to get a copyright strike, as you can appreciate. But I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I don't want to show the live game. But I'm watching it there and there, so it's right next to each other. Well, of course, my statutory cup of tea, British style tea, sex, mugs, and rock and roll. Because that's fucking rock and roll. Cups of tea are fucking cool, man. Badass. Cups of tea is for fucking hard bastards. No, I've got to go and pick the kids up from school. There'll be no beer yet. Maybe later on. Because I'm off tomorrow. Actually, first Saturday off. Well, I had the Saturday off last week because I was away. The mug is fucking brilliant. Love it. Along with the frozen mug, but that's it. See, when you're comfortable in your sexuality, like I am, I know I'm straight. I've got absolutely no qualms with pulling out a frozen mug and a frozen lunchbox in my work. Sitting there in my work with loads of men. There's a guy in my work, there must be about 6'4", 6'5", big meaty bastard, and I happily sit beside him, you know, with a frozen lunchbox with Anna and Elsa from the Disney film, eating something out of it, you know, no problems at all. Cool, man. I might send you some Aussie things when I send you that photo. That would be awesome. Do you know what? I might even... I'll open up the parcel. That would be unbelievable if you could do that. Really, really appreciate that. Thanks very much. That's the end of the third quarter, so great lead so far for the Swans. I mean, there's not much in it. Still, 8 points, but... tight as anything, really. This is what I mean. When I go back to what I was saying there... Sorry. Thanks very much for what you were saying there. I'll open the stuff up live. I do a video of it opening it up live, and then of course I'll try and practice doing the odd spiral or the odd mongrel that you'll probably see from me. Kicking the odd mongrel, or quite a lot of mongrels. But just having good fun anyway. See me running, doing a solo, bouncing the ball. I've heard that's quite hard to do. When you're on the run, full stride, trying to bounce it and then catch it on the move isn't actually as easy as these guys make it look. So, plus the unpredictability of the actual ball itself. What am I watching? I'm watching... That's the adverts just now. But I was watching... I'm watching Sydney Swans versus Collingwood, round 10 in the AFL. The Indigenous round for all the Indigenous people in Australia. Cool. I've got a question for you guys, because somebody says Lance Buddy Franklin was Indigenous. He was like Aborigine roots. He doesn't actually look like it to me. He looks more like Caucasian to me, but maybe he has got like one parent or so. He actually is, by the way.
Yo, Tim, you can save money on your energy without the hassle.
20 minutes, because I was wondering why 20 minutes half-time break, right? So I was actually thinking, how did I get back in time for the third quarter? I thought I was going to live stream on the fourth. So we have a 20-minute break there, the gap there is quite big, and that's how I managed to get the third quarter and I'll get the fourth. So we're going to wrap it on, ask some questions right now, tell you a little bit about what I'm saying in my work to these guys about AFL, which is sweet. 6 minutes of just questions and answers, and then we'll get back to talking about the fourth. Go Swans on this one. They're not my personal preference, the Swans. I just want them to beat Collingwood. Just put it out there. 15 minutes and then 30. No wonder though. I mean, the size of the area they're running about on. And I'd imagine a lot of mistakes in the fourth quarter because you're really starting to get tired now. Big gaps opening up. Probably a lot more goals come in the fourth quarter, I'd imagine as well, which will be exciting to watch. Go every fortnight. What team do you follow again? Oh, to the footy. What team do you follow again, my man? Because loads of people tell me and I just forget off the top of my head. My man Troy there, he doesn't actually have a team as such. He just loves the sport. He's passionate about the sport. Fremantle, that's right, I knew that. The Dockers. I haven't actually watched much of their stuff yet. So hopefully I'll get a little bit of them to see how they look this season. That'll be good to see. Yeah, so I'm in my work last week or so talking about AFL, and where I live, the more Catholic people in Northern Ireland will play GAA, which is obviously the lesser quality kind of similar game to the Aussie rules, but like I can't stop talking about AFL to them, everyone, because it's absolutely epic, and I'm sure they're sick listening to me, but I'm trying to pick their brains for things that they know about the sport and see what the differences are between them. There's not an awful lot of differences in the two sports, to tell you the truth, because obviously you've got the marks, different types of. They actually use their foot and kick it in the air on the solos, don't they? Rather than bounce it on the ground on a solo. I don't know if they have to run 15 paces or 16 paces and then they have to kick it. It's something like that. Something very similar, but Aussie rules is a lot more physical, a lot more aggressive. They're bigger looking, they're stronger looking. Probably down to the fact as well that it is a professional sport, and obviously the sport here isn't professional, so that gives Aussie rules that little bit more of an edge as well, I think. And I've got to tell you the truth, I watched the international series a few times now. I've watched that video and I absolutely love it. I love watching the Aussies beating the absolute crap out of the Irish lads. It's so enjoyable to watch. As somebody said to me, maybe they took it a bit far. You can never take it too far in international stuff. You're fighting for your country. You're fighting for your country. You're fighting for your country. You're playing for your country. You're fighting for your country. That's right, you smash them little paddies all over the place for our pure entertainment. What time? 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock here in the afternoon. This is why you need to go for a South Australian team. Why do you say that? Is it because they're more aggressive, more physical? People are always trying to give the Crows. They're actually not a bad side. I've watched I've watched a couple of little bits of highlights of them actually. They're not actually quite a good side, aren't they? And as everybody knows, Gold Coast is probably the greatest AFL team ever because of my poll that I did. They've won the first grand final of the year has been won by Gold Coast at my poll. That's the best ever, or the best AFL team. And everybody's like, they're pish. There's one man going half injured. Somebody's took a bit of a head knock by the looks of it here. A suspected concussion. He's going to get stitches as well, maybe. As it stands, Collingwood are second in the ladder. Geelong, actually seen Geelong's highlights from round 9. I must admit, they look fucking good, by the way. They really look good. I watched the Bullies against, who was their last game against now? Shit. They got beat though. No, it was Geelong. it was Geelong played the Bullies in the round 9, and they did. I must admit they did look good. And I watched Port Adelaide's highlights as well. Watched a few highlights actually. I just can't remember a lot of right now. I'm just watching a little bit of this here. Cats are the team to beat. I'm going to the football on Sunday. Another Docker fan. And see, Docker, I think on my channel there's a lot of Docker supporters, Fremantle Docker supporters. Quite popular on my channel so far. Well, so what's the West Coast teams then? Hey, what's the names of the Western Australia team derbies divide the state, right? So who are the two Western Australia teams then? Because I think Perth's on the West Coast, isn't it? But is there any Perth AFL teams? Because nobody's actually called that. Fremantle's versus Eagles, Fremantle, Dockers and West Coast Eagles. So they are the West Coast teams, right? I keep getting confused thinking the Dockers are South Australia. Does Perth have any teams, or do they just farm or something like that? Are they just sitting, like, I don't know, with vineyards or something like that, doing nothing out in West? West Coast Eagles and Fremantle Dockers, so. Aye, thanks. There's no Perth teams. I thought that. What do they do in Perth? You know, if they don't play AFL, they don't seem like a very happy bunch. Read number 20 for Swans. He looks like a bit of a player, and as they've just said there, he's marking everything. Every time I look over, he's at the helm here at the top. Brilliant. He's the target man. Sorry for the silence there, just watching this. Oh, he's hit the post. It's a shame your big man never kicked it first. It's too hot to play in there. It's a shame the big man there for the Swans, number 20, is it Reid? He never kicked that. He's played on quickly, and your other man's took it from the mark there, and he's hit the post. Right up, here we go. Oh. I really don't want Collingwood to get any loose ball at all here. It's strange how I've automatically, as I say, took a bit of a dislike into them. No offence to any Collingwood fans, I don't know why I've done this. Maybe it's because my subscribers and my viewers are kind of anti-Collingwood. I've kind of shared the same feelings towards them. 60,000 people in Perth and Cornwall. That's unbelievable. Mason Cox, they said in the commentary that he's been out for a few weeks. I don't know if he's been fit or he's been injured. That's why he's not started. That's what they said in the commentary. I think he can come on though. I think he's on the bench. Not sure if you'll see him. He's injured, yeah. Yeah, I have nothing against Mason Cox. I actually quite like the Mason Cox story. I was happy for him when he turned like a kind of poor start to his AFL career into a positive, and he started kicking well, you know, and scoring, making nice marks as well. It was nice to see, but in terms of Collingwood here, I agree with your sentiments there. It wouldn't be fair for me to pick a side to actually support when I've not watched everyone. I don't know enough about the history of the clubs or the passion of the fans. Fans are going to have a huge role in who I probably lean towards, because when you see fans love their club, I kind of like, yes, that's the spirit, you know, that's That's what will probably draw me more to a club rather than necessarily the way they play or how good they are. It's the fan base, how passionate they are. How's Tricks, man? I'm watching live AFL. First game that I'm going to have covered live AFL. Obviously, copyright reasons, I can't show you the game. There he is again, the big man. He's just played it in. Things happen when your number 20 gets the ball, doesn't it? You can see that there. He's a bit of a player, I think. Look at. It's on BT Sports right now, my man. If you've got BT Sport, you get it on BT Sport 1, you'll get this match live. There's very, very good picture quality. This is HD I've got here. I know BT Sport actually have UHD as well, like kind of like 4K. I'm sure that over the next year or two that quality will increase even more. Yeah, put it on. I think I'm going for the Swans here. I want them to win. They actually are in the lead by 10. It has been a close fought game in fairness. Collingwood they were in the lead through the second. Third, Sydney came back. Swans came back, and now they kind of seem to be stamping their authority on the match, which is good. So we could have another Scottish supporter here, provided he can get this match on. He might enjoy it if he can watch it live. We could have another Scottish supporter here. Yes. Lovely. Away they go. Come on. Is he allowed to do that? Your boy's jumped and he's pulled his leg away from him. The Collingwood boys coming as your man Reid grabbed him by the leg and then pulled him away. But it went over the top of the two of their heads there. Missed opportunity there. A bit of a mongrel. Upped him. That's what I kind of like about some of the players that I've covered. Probably Cyril Rioli can make a bad kick seem okay because he's so good at getting the marks. But that's down to highlights, isn't it? They're always going to show the best marks and stuff like that there. But he does seem to be a little bit more deadly in and around that area, making marks. He looked really, really good. Really enjoyable player to watch. Quarter final compared to 40. Yeah, they're getting the footy sent to me about Boomer there. I was watching. He's sending me stuff, and he says he might send me some stuff from Australia. Australian. I'm not too sure what he's going to send, so he's going to send it with a ball. So I look forward to it. We don't have an oval to my knowledge, but it could be played. There's a huge grass areas you can play on it anyway. I mean, you can make anything a goal post, couldn't you? You could use any sort of thing as an area to aim towards as well. Yes, he's missed. Only got the 1 point there. Happy days. This is the bit, right? Kicking after they've just missed. Kicking it out. Coaches hate it when they go for the torp right from their own goal line. Or from that little square that you have in front of the sticks. They hate it, don't they, when they kick it so far, because it can go into anyone. It could go straight back to the opposite team and they could come back on the attack. So it's not always the best thing to do. You always, even in the highlights you're seeing, the wee controlled passes directly to a team, another member of your team. So they're in the lead. They don't need to do anything and force the game. They're in the lead here. Just keep the ball for a wee bit. I think it's 20 minutes a quarter, isn't it? 20 minutes a quarter, 4 quarters, obviously. And it can play on until the siren goes, and then providing what's happened when the siren's gone, you can kick if you've made the mark just before it, can't you? And it'd be the last play of the game, really. And all kids apparently in the AFL growing up dream of making that after siren, scoring that after siren goal, don't they? He scooped this high. I must admit, your boy Main is it there for Collingwood. That was absolutely sensational. He's came up, he's took a bounce, and he's kind of, I don't know what you call the term in Aussie rules, but he's kind of volleyed it when he's lying down through the sticks. Unbelievable finish. Credit where credit's due. Even if I don't want them to win, that was a good piece of skill there. Tight game, 3 points in it. Could go any way yet. Right, here we go. So there's a bit of a scramble, and look at that. Lovely. He's fell over onto his side and had the awareness just to bang, have some of that. Lovely goal. And your man's tried to like sort of Superman dive across like a goalkeeper in football there and stop it. Great finish. Oh, here we go, they're on the attack again. Fuck, they're going to get this, are they? Again, credit where it's due. What a goal, man. You can't keep a good team down for too long, can you? Space of 2 minutes, 2 goals. The Swans are bound to be gutted there. Couple of comments there just popped up on the thing. Like the stream, guys. I'm loving this stream. Obviously, this is my first ever time watching live AFL. And I didn't even know it was on BT Sports. I could have been watching it all this time, but I didn't even know, so I've been missing a trick here. Lovely finish too, like he's kind of going out right as well, under pressure. Kind of stubbed it towards goal and in, no problem at all, really. Credit where it's due. I'll always give a fair analysis of what I'm seeing, you know. As I say, I'm a neutral, I don't have a team. I kind of am joking and saying like, you don't like them already, took a disliking, but at the end of the day, like, it's a good sport, it's highly contested. A sport here, 3 points in it. I mean, brilliant, very competitive sport. You just want to see, when you're a neutral, you just want to see the sport played 100% commitment and everybody leaving everything out on the pitch. So may the best team win kind of a situation. But the Swans have looked good and they've kind of threw it away this last 2 or 3 minutes. Here we go. Oh, he kicked that straight out, man. This is actually a low scoring game. Alright, my man, there's Stefan from Germany, one of my patrons on Patreon, absolute legend, loves Muay Thai. Very welcome to my AFL stream. I don't know if you're getting it in Germany, but it's on BT Sports in the UK. You might get it in Germany on one of your sports channels. It's live right now, Sydney Swans versus Collingwood, round 10, the Indigenous round, which will mean all teams are wearing an Indigenous style jersey, like the kind of tribal prints on their jerseys, and to be honest, they're really cool strips, aren't they? Or jersey, whatever you call it. Really cool top. We would probably call that a vest in the UK. I don't know if that would be what you would call it in Australia. Look at this, they're scrapping at the goal, Memphis. I think he's got it, the Sydney boy's got it. I don't know what's going to happen here now then, because he looks like he held on to it and lay down on it. Yeah, I seen the ref throwing it. They bounce it in the centre circle and then they throw it up in the air as well. And also there's another thing I seen them doing. He's put it behind for a point. Where they throw it over the heads back into play from out on the side of the oval. They throw it way back up in it. It could go into anyone, which I found quite a strange thing. I've never seen that before on any of the highlights. You won't see these things, but when you're watching the live game, you see that. There's about, how many refs is there? 4 on the pitch, and then there's some round the oval as well, or on the oval, sorry, and then there's around the outside of it as well. There's kind of guys. umpires or whatever. I don't know what the correct names for them are. Referees, officials. Here we go. Look, so he's going to throw it over his head and in.
And a couple of closies. The Swans over the last couple of weeks.
I'm watching it through the internet, so my friend here from Scotland, he's going to be watching it maybe through his satellite dish. He's going to get it quicker than me. I'm actually watching it through the internet. A bit of a wrestling match here. Swing an elbow, man. If somebody's holding on to you, just smash him off. I know he's going to get a suspension or something if he does that, but I'm just dying to see it live. Oh, that's when you'll see the true excitement. They're going to run away with this here now, aren't they? I think they're going to go away and win this one here now, Collingwood. They seem to be finishing stronger, don't they? The dream time. I know, as soon as you see those little sort of petty, petulant elbows and punches and stuff. Oh, here we go. There's a bit of a tugging match now. A wee bit of a shoulder, bang. They're laughing though, you know, they're actually laughing when they're doing it. It has got potential though to erupt, hasn't it, at any given moment. I mean, they're men like at the end of the day. It only takes one dig to let it just explode. And I don't know if my Scottish friend here has actually watched any of the videos that I've done of fights, but this is what I'm talking about when you say a proper sport. Check them out. You have to check out some of this AFL fights, bumps, big hits, stuff like that. The biff, the line in the sand one that I did, my word. The Hawks lost their shit altogether. I mean, they just had no intentions of playing after the first initial fight. That was it. All they wanted to do was fight, and the Hawthorn Hawks just lost their shit altogether, and they got absolutely milked at the end of the match. They were destroyed in that game.
20 days away. The AFL Grand Final for 2019.
Demolition Derby is one that I'm going to do. You know I'm going to do it. I'm going to cover it. I stayed in. I was hoping the Swans would pick up on that loose ball there, but... Oh, here we go. We've got it back. It's getting a bit scrappy there. He's just slapped it out of the way, isn't he? So, I'm not sure what the rule is behind that rivalry.
Collingwood lead it by 10 points. Give you 30 seconds to think about it. Just want to know what Sydney have got to do here now to win the game. They're 10 points down. 8 3/4 minutes remaining.
Number one, he would absolutely love this again. The Muay Thai would absolutely love this. It's actually played in quite a few countries, surprisingly. I think Malaysia, they play this sport as well. I don't know how good their teams are. I wouldn't imagine they would be anywhere near the standard of this, but the fact that they're playing it's good. It's healthy, isn't it? I don't know if there's ever been players from other countries like Malaysia around Southeast Asia. They're not far from Australia, really, are they? Geographically. I don't know if there's ever been any sort of Southeast Asians that have played in the AFL. That's a question I've got for you. Has there ever been? Because I know that they go on the road with the AFL. And it is playing. He's going to solo now. Come on. Disappointed there, man. I thought that was going to make it through. He was away. A lovely run, wasn't it? Glasgow has a team. See, I'm not actually in Scotland now, so obviously my closest team would be Belfast. Still quite a bit of a drive for me. It'd be about, where I am is about 35-40 minutes from Belfast. So I'm kind of closer to Belfast than Dublin. Dublin has a team as well, but Dublin would be a wee bit further down probably about an hour's drive from me and about 30-40 minutes to Belfast from me, so there's no real exact team right next to us. But Glasgow's in Scotland, obviously I'm not going to be able to see them. You in Scotland? Oh no, I'm in Northern Ireland. I'm from Scotland, but obviously I've moved now. Lived here from December 2005, January 2006. 2005, 2006, end of 2005, start of 2006, I moved to Northern Ireland. Go. If that comes off him, that's a point then, isn't it? It's went through. If he scored a couple of single points there, but still. 7 minutes, that's quite a lot of time when people start getting tired as well. Mistakes can happen and you could be in. Big Lance, he does look tired. Big body Franklin. He's not had the impact that he would probably usually have had when being injured, I think. And being a little bit older, you can see that he's not got that same sharpness to his sprints that I've seen in highlights videos of him. He's definitely lacking that bit of speed. Hit it! They managed to get it back. Oh yes. Ah, Collingwood's doing a good job there at picking it up, eh? They're keeping them in the 50 though, which is good. They're keeping them pinned back. Yes! This is the finish that we all want to see, isn't it? It could just explode now. You could run away with loads of goals, could get kicked in this last few minutes. Nice. I didn't actually think he would get it there because he was standing, he actually never even jumped. A few bodies there and then boom. Oh, he actually did jump a little bit. No real team as such. Obviously the direct links that people had with Essendon, people wanted to kind of push onto me was Essendon, but I'm not. I must admit, I quite like the look of this lad up top, for not the one that's just scored the goal there, is it Reid number 20, a younger lad for the Swans up top. He looks good. I'm not too sure how good a player he actually is currently within the AFL. Maybe other people could help me out there, but I actually quite like what I see with him. He's made quite a few marks and a few kicks as well, so he looks like he could be one for the future if he is young. But no team as such. I kind of automatically popped and seen the red, white and blue team, the Western Bulldogs, the Bullies. They play in West Melbourne, don't they? Obviously red, white and blue, British Bulldogs, the Bulldogs. Kind of naturally I spotted that and thought, oh, they look alright, and I'm going to do Big Barry Hall. Stay tuned for a reaction on Barry Hall. Not because, I don't even know if he was all that a great player, but because he's an absolute fucking nutter. Absolute nutcase. So there's a video coming of him, maybe not today, but this weekend you'll definitely see a Barry Hall reaction, and you'll also see the big man. Who did I say earlier on I was doing? Tony Lockett, sorry, my head went blank there. There's only one Tony Lockett, big Tony Lockett, the highest point scorer in Aussie rules history, I think. The big man, but an absolute psycho hard bastard. I know, if you had to don, it would probably be if I moved to Australia. My brother-in-law lived in Australia and worked for a year, but he was away up north, up in Tully, which is above, which is quite high up, isn't it, on the east coast? It's rainforest. He was doing the banana trees and cutting them. Really hard work. He got quite a lot of infections with the rats and the. Like, I don't know if they pee and climb up the banana trees and all that there, and they're constantly taking out the old banana trees and putting that in. He says it was quite physical work, quite a lot more Europeans doing that dirty side to it, to get their sponsorship to stay in Australia. They actually wanted him to stay, the farmers that were over there wanted him to stay and work, but he decided to come home. But he said he wished he would been further down, maybe towards down the east coast anyway, maybe even down as far as Melbourne. I think probably Melbourne, based on the fact there seems to be quite a lot of sport happening around there as well, like loads of different types of sports in and around Melbourne as well. Obviously the Melbourne cricket ground, I want to go and do the Anzac Day there. I really want to do Anzac Day there. Probably more than the grand final, I've got to tell you the truth. I think Anzac Day will probably appeals to me more than the grand final, which for any AFL fan probably is just sounds so stupid, but it's because of the military stuff. Me being a veteran, ex-forces myself, like always anything to do with the military is obviously going to be quite a thing for me personally. Need to come to South Australia. Yeah, Melbourne, that's what I thought. Melbourne does seem to come across as the sports hub of Australia. Come to South Australia, no problem. Adelaide as well, probably down there. Sydney, everybody wants to go to Sydney and see Sydney as well. For postal, when I put my bank card on, I'll figure it out. I'm not too sure actually. Have I missed something here? Something's happened in and around. Somebody's injured over there. Here we go. We better tug it. Stop pushing each other like a couple of fannies and throw a punch already. Somebody's been smashed over the line. I missed that because I was talking to you there. No score. And a big boy that looks like a big Greek warrior with the hair. A big Greek Adonis, big tall lad, big tall fella with the dark hair. He's coming back on for Collingwood there for the last few minutes. He's actually he's been quite good actually, that boy, from what I watched. The Patreon thing, I'm not too sure what the problem is there. I've actually never donated on the Patreon before. So it's something that I can't really help you with, and I think it's just a case of signing up, and then you can either pay monthly, I think, if there's donation things there. I'm not too sure, but all the Patreon money, patrons that are on the channel and on this as well, you can donate on this live stream actually if you really wanted to donate. And the section below is a dollar sign, and then give me a request, and I'll give you a shout out and say thanks very much for the support. You can do that as well. That would be unbelievable if you could do that. And all proceeds from the channel, AdSense, all the patron stuff goes into the channel. I'm going to buy better equipment, camera equipment. I'm going to do my vlogs. So I'm going to come to Malaysia, Indonesia and Australia. And somebody says you need to do India because I feature India a lot on the channel as well. But definitely Australia for the AFL. Hopefully I'll come for about a month, maybe even 5 or 6 weeks, and go around and do about 5 or 6 games even. Every week do a different ground, maybe even do a different city, completely different city, and travel Australia and meet people from the channel as well, meet up with folks from the channel as well, and show me around the city, get a few beers and that, a few jars together. Barbecue in the sun, because we don't get the sun. Anytime we get a bit of sun in Britain, it's like shorts on, tops off, barbecue out. Mental, it's maybe only 18 degrees outside, but we're straight in, skin burnt, 18 degrees, burnt to a cinder. Barbecues out, one day of sun in the UK, all you can smell is barbecues everywhere. You know, usually the barbecue kings and all anyway, aren't you? Like, you know what you're talking about. Missed that. You barbecue any time of the year, but that's because you're sunshine all the time. So barbecue day in the UK is that one Sunday that you get, that one day of sun. Actually, it's been quite a nice year here, to tell you the truth. If it's dry and it's sunny, it doesn't necessarily need to be hot. If it's dry and it's sunny, it makes you feel good anyway. Gives you that wee bit more energy. So I'll just check that next comment when it goes away. It looks like Collingwood are going to get an R6 here. Still time to... I've seen a game there, a great finish with Port Adelaide. It was unbelievable, wasn't it? The last 2 minutes, it was the Adelaide derby between The two, as I said, the two Adelaide teams. Sorry, in the last couple of minutes, unbelievable! What a finish, man! I absolutely loved it. Parmi Miagana, I don't even know what that is. Parmi Ajana, I don't know what that is. Sorry, man, but it sounds awesome. You can eat sausage sizzle at your local hardware store. Do you like any Serbia teams? And which one do you like more? Serbia, the only two major teams I know from Serbia is Partizan and Red Star. What a fixture that is in the football. Huge rivalry there. If you're AFL supporter and you know nothing about that and you want to see a little bit of a pure football and rivalry, check out Red Star Belgrade and Partizan Belgrade. I don't actually have a favourite, to tell you the truth. Two absolutely nutcase supporters, man. Pyrotechnics going everywhere, and when I say hate each other, people are being killed regularly with these two teams. They hate each other. Belgrade and Serbia, that is. The Belgrade derby. So, anyway, this is Collingwood and Sydney Swans we're talking about here, just getting sidetracked a little bit there. Just somebody popped up. I don't have a preference to answer the question anyway, thanks for the question. 40-degree temperatures. The hottest temperature I ever experienced in my life was 67 degrees Celsius in the Middle East in Iraq. Fuck me. And I'll tell you something as well. I was only out there a day or two and I was only acclimatised into it, and our air condition broke in the tent, and I've never experienced heat like that. I was told from the guys who'd been in the war in 2003, wait till you get out here, it's like walking into an oven when you come off the plane. And you come off the plane and it's exactly like walking into an oven. Well, cooking temperatures are like 73 degrees, isn't it, to start killing bacteria? So we were 67 degrees. It was nearly cooking temperature to start killing bacteria. We were cooking, near enough, simmering. But it was incredible heats, that 40 degrees in the summer in Australia. Do you take siestas? The Australian people peak summer temperatures? Do you sleep during the day and then go back to your work later on in the evening? Because you see that in Europe and Spain and Portugal and stuff. Soccer in the UK, I support Rangers, which is huge rivalry. The Old Firm derby is absolutely massive. It's probably in the top 4 or 5 derbies in the world. Absolute. The history of these two teams is phenomenal. They hate each other. It's religious. It's political. It's everything. It's a city. It's a country divided. It's actually more than a country divided, because it comes to Northern Ireland as well. If you know anything about Northern Ireland and its troubles, the two clubs have even adopted this as well. Bit of banana there and he's missed. Thanks very much, greetings. So the Old Firm derby is huge historically. It's got deep roots, deep-rooted religious rivalry. Obviously, Rangers were born out of a Presbyterian church in Scotland by 4 young Presbyterian lads, and Celtic were founded by a Catholic priest in the east end of the city for the Irish immigrants coming from the famine. And obviously he wanted to give them something to hold on to, like something that they could enjoy, like a sporting team, and that's how they were kind of founded. And from then, obviously, Rangers had a policy where they never signed a single Roman Catholic. No Roman Catholics were ever allowed to play for Rangers, and they were a predominantly British club, staunchly British, not Scottish, British roots, love the monarchy, love the armed forces, the soldiers, whereas Celtic obviously have links to the complete polar opposite. In terms of Northern Ireland, that's where that comes in, the history of Northern Ireland comes in there. So to answer that question then, yes, there we go, done, Collingwood's won it. I'm not going to say I'm disappointed, because I don't really have an affiliation. I did kind of want the Swans to win, but to be fair, in that last quarter from when I was watching there, they kind of did turn it on a little bit more, didn't they, Collingwood there? Tight match, a low scoring game from what I've seen. You're in the hundreds in some games. That was a low scoring game. Shows you that both teams were it was a bit scrappy at times as well. Nobody really took control, and good afternoon everyone that's joining. Nobody really took control there and turned it on that much. There was moments of magic, but one of the goals will stand out. That one there in the fourth quarter from the Collingwood lad, just between the sticks. He's lying down, he's volleyed it. He had the awareness to do that. Bit of skill there, footballing skill there. And then they went and they kicked a couple of goals after that as well. So they went and won that. I don't know where that keeps them second in the ladder. Is that they're second in the ladder? I think behind Geelong. Two teams that actually don't really want to win it. I don't actually want to see Geelong win it either, because they've been quite dominant as well, haven't they? Over the last 15 years or so, they've obviously won a lot of grand finals as well. So I can actually go away from actually watching the TV now and focus on some questions. We'll do a little bit of more of a live stream. I'll talk for maybe about 10-15 minutes here, because we're over an hour already, obviously, doing the live stream of the match. One for ages. I want a team that has one for ages. Well, I kind of want to see a team that's maybe it's nice to see an underdog win, isn't it? Really, in any sport, no matter what the sport, it's nice to see an underdog kind of get a little bit of success, because, as you know, actually I can't stay for too much longer because I've got to do the school run in 20 minutes. So I can stay for about 10, folks, right? Do about another 10 minutes and then I'll shoot down the school and pick up the child. Fremantle Dockers. People were saying, up the mighty Dockers. I told you, I think the Dockers are probably the most supported out of all my subscribers or viewers that come on. So I was led to believe they were probably a more smaller club in terms of success, but passionate fans, really, really passionate fans of Dockers, and I can tell that already. So that's quite good to see. I quite like that, to tell you the truth. That is good. They have a massive support, so there you go. And I can tell that they have that. The Brisbane Lions really enjoyed watching some of their stuff as well. Again, I can't rule out anyone at this stage. I don't have a team really that's jumped out at me yet. And the advice I was given: watch the full season, watch the whole thing, how it all pans out, and you'll see more and more games, more and more teams and players that you might like, and then maybe make a decision. Who knows? I might not even have a team then. I just like the sport for what it is, a truly contested sport. Look how close that match was there. Frighteningly close. Anyone could have won that in the last few minutes of the game, and that's what I love about this sport. So don't necessarily need to even have a team to appreciate how good it is. So I'll probably do a little bit of a review of the matches tomorrow. Fremantle versus the Lions on Sunday. That'll be good. At the moment, the Crows has 97,000 club members going by their channel. Wow. See, to put this into context to my man Troy, he was talking about football, soccer. Obviously, AFL is predominantly an Australian sport that is played globally. I've seen that Graham Dorrans, a Rangers player, has been bottled. Yeah, that's right. He's been bottled. Well, that's the rumour. And Ibiza, he's on holiday in Ibiza, and somebody's came up and hit him with a bottle. So hopefully he's all right. That's absolutely disgusting. No doubt as to who will be probably behind that. Obviously, being Rangers, there's only one other type of people, unless it was just a freak accident. But I'd imagine it's got something to do with our rivalry that we have in Scotland. I'm just guessing. Drink and rivalry, and they've seen him and they've cracked him one. Absolutely disgusting act, cowardly act. Hopefully they get the boy and put him away. That's attempted murder, and you hit somebody with a bottle. It's happened to me about 3 times. No, I was twice hit with a bottle. Once there, that knocked me clean out, man. It's funny. Good story. Boy came up. I didn't even know he was coming. I think my mates that was with me was maybe shouting a bit of abuse over to folk on the other side of the street, but I was walking along, didn't even know what was happening, and then bump, somebody cracked me there, knocked me clean out. But as I was falling, apparently my legs went like real jelly, and I just fell over and smashed my face off the side of the ground, and I was all scarred, all cut down the side as well where I've landed. That was a good one. And then another one on the back of the head that split the back of my head, and I got a brick there as well, that split me there. But no, I was actually fighting with a young boy when I was young. I was actually a child, and his brother gave him the brick and he smacked it off my head. So that was alright, that was fair enough. Like, you know, we were fighting, but the other two were unprovoked. That's Scotland for you. When they say, you don't get hit for nothing, well, I can bloody well assure you, you do. You do. You do get bottled for nothing. You do get hit for nothing. You get jumped for nothing. Thanks very much, Toy. Good speaking to you again, my man. So hopefully Dorns is alright. I hate that, man. That's garbage stuff. So as I was saying, to put it into context though, when you're saying 97,000 there members, that's unbelievable. Rangers, I think they've got about a 9 or 10 million global fan base. So that shows you like the passion that we have for our sport in Scotland as well. It's absolutely Australians, unbelievable passionate support. I want to see you prank my family. What do you want to see me doing to my family? I've actually got, right, I've done the hottest chili pepper in the world, which right now as it stands might have changed, but it was a Carolina Reaper powder. I've done it 3 or 4 times on my channel. It is fucking brutal. So if you're going to do it, get some ice cream. Get some ice cream if you're going to do the Carolina Reaper. I could actually prank the wife's meal with a little bit of Carolina Reaper powder. That could be a good prank. You should prank Aberdeen. Aberdeen is a prank. It's a prank that they even exist, these people up there. You could count the number of teeth. Like, you might actually get a set of teeth between the population of Aberdeen put together. Maybe. The ancestral side of Aberdeen as well is probably quite high. And obviously the fondness of our friends, our woolly friends that go, bah, that's what you're getting up Aberdeen. They're a huge rival of Rangers in Scotland as well. Aberdeen hate us more than we hate them, I believe, and I think that's down to an inferiority complex. When somebody's smaller and hates the bigger team, the better team, it's a jealousy thing. That's what I put that down to. They hate us more than we hate them. We nothing them. Nothing. Chill a beer, and when I'm in Australia, we'll meet up and we'll get a beer. I actually plan on taking my channel to this part of the world, your part of the world, within. It depends on how the channel grows, obviously, financially. All the money's being reinvested back into the channel to buy better equipment so I can do live videos at the games and also with people, talking to people. What do you think? Just general chit chat, live stuff from the game, live stuff from around the ground, and just my overall experiences in and around the city and things like that. Things to do, things to see, travelling around Australia, travelling. Malaysia and Indonesia is one that I'm doing as well because of their sport. They're fanatical about football, soccer, in that part of the world. And this blew me away. I couldn't believe it. And that's got me talking to loads of these people this part of the world, which is absolutely amazing. So I plan on doing exactly the same thing there. Hopefully within the next 2 or 3 years, I'll have visited all 3 countries and done video logs. But that's going to be down to purely how successful the channel can be, and that's the dream that we can do that. Which a lot of people might already know now, because I kind of rabbiting on a bit about that. But that's the plan. That's the dream. AFL is definitely up there for that as well. We're going to feature quite a bit of AFL on the video logs. Go around loads of different grounds and see different teams. Meet up with the fans as well. Definitely people that's engaging with me on the channel and helping me on the channel. If you want, I would be delighted if you would meet up with me when we get there. Show me around, talk to me, take me around the different parts of the city that's good to go and see, or wherever you're from. Maybe take me out. Somebody offered to take me shooting pigs, man. Absolutely magic. Let's go and slaughter some pigs. That shit's mental. You know, go hunt the crocodile, man. I'll jump on the back of its neck. Nah, I'm only kidding. But like seriously, that sounds absolutely epic. I'd love to do that. Obviously, if you're ever in this part of the world, again, return the favour. Reaction where you work to show them what AFL is. All of them actually know what AFL is because of the international series between Australia and Ireland. They all know what the AFL is, so surprisingly they do know exactly what it is. I'm West Australian, cool. This is Fremantle Dockers territory, isn't it? Now I've just learned, which is good to know. I've made a mistake. I think they were in the south, but they play that their main rival match in Perth. Because what sport do they play in Perth then? Like, what's their major sport there? Is it rugby league or like, I don't know, like maybe rugby union? I don't even know. I know I'm going to leave it on this. Before I go, I'm going to leave this one thing. I know England and Perth is still footy. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it on this one note. England and Australia, look, it doesn't matter if they're playing like soccer, rugby union, cricket. Obviously, you've got the Ashes. If you're in the velodrome, indoor cycling, Australians and England have a great rivalry there, which is absolutely healthy to watch. Obviously, I'm British. I'll be supporting the British team, but when you come up against England, it's great to watch the rivalry there in sport. Fantastic to watch. But Australian, what have you got? A population of like 25 million people, so a relatively small population for the size of the land. But sportingly, I think you might actually. I'm going to put this out there. I think Australia actually overachieve for their population and sport across the board. At every type of sport. Rugby union, you've got a great chance of winning the World Cup. Rugby league, you've probably got a great chance of winning the World Cup. Soccer, maybe, Australia wouldn't be up there with the best teams in the world, but they've actually got some really good players in soccer as well, come to Europe. Cricket, one of the best teams in the world. Velodrome, swimming, you name it in the Olympics, the Aussies are competing. Absolutely outstanding. So I actually think you over... Muay Thai as well, we're going to do more Thai 100%, you know that. Yeah, definitely, if you visit, come, meet me. That would be absolutely outstanding. All the best athletes go to the AFL, so that's the thing. Sports mad nation across the board for all sports. Australia seem to punch above it and they're fanatical about sports. That's unbelievable. Why are you so good at sports? I don't know. But the AFL is definitely one of the greatest things to come out of Australia. That's just one thing before I go. That's why they're not very good at soccer. But there is some good players that have came. There's actually a guy for the other team in Glasgow there, plays for them. He's actually quite a good player. But we had a couple of defenders that played for our soccer team, Tony Vidmar and Craig Moore. Craig Moore was one of the best defenders we had. Absolutely brilliant defender. So we've actually had a few in Scotland come from Australia, played for both of the two big teams, and some down in England as well. So we've had some good players. And then Mark Viduka played for them. He went down to Leeds. He was quite a good striker from the past there as well. But anyway, I'm going to have to go. I have to do the school run. That was a great live stream. Really enjoyed watching it with you, talking away, a bit of banter. Enjoy your evening. I know it's night time there. Comments in the past 2 days. Yeah, I'll go through all of them. They're all going to come. Maybe not all in the next 2 or 3 days, but it gives me a lot of work to do over the next coming weeks. Spread it out. There's a huge mix on the Dons channel. It's massive different types of sports, different types of things come on the Dons channel. But for AFL only, if you want to just see, not AFL only, sports only, check out the Donna World Sports. Subscribe to it. It's just going to be sports and sports only, and it will feature a lot of AFL. As the channel grows, that will be probably the place to watch the better content of AFL in the future over the next year or so. That channel should hopefully grow just as well as this one is, but sports only. Thanks very much, guys. I'm going to go. I'm going to leave you with the summary of that game. Collingwood done well. I wanted, obviously, the Swans to win. Great first experience of the game and doing the live stream and talking to you. So thanks very much to tune in. Really enjoyed your company. I hope you've enjoyed this session as much as I have. As always, it's a pleasure. And don't forget, guys, share the videos that you like, that we do. Help my channel grow. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much, everyone. Have a good evening, no matter or afternoon, wherever you are in the world.